Hey guys, this is Algebra 1, Lesson 4. We're not starting at the very beginning. We'll have done some of this in class. We're going to go on to this page, writing solution sets in interval notation. So here's a case of like a compound inequality. The answers are going, the solution set for, let's say the variable x is going from -1, including -1, all the way up to +6, but not including +6. So every value in here is a valid solution for the variable. -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this is 7. So it goes up to 7, but it doesn't include 7. So even like 6.9 or 6.99 is included, but 7 is not. -1 is included. -0.5 is included. 1.5 is included. All these values are included, but not 7, and not numbers above here and not numbers below here. So the way we write an interval notation is we're going to put the range of values from -1 all the way up to 7. And if a value is included, we're going to use a square bracket like this to indicate that -1 is also included in the solution. And 7 is not included, so we won't put a square bracket on this side. We'll include a parenthesis on this side, meaning everything from -1 to 7 is included. -1 is included because of the square bracket, and 7 is not included because of the parenthesis, the round bracket, okay? Let's take a look at this example. So here we're going from what looks like a -7, and including -7, all the way to infinity. So the arrow indicates that it's going to continue to infinity. And this is how we write it. We're going to start with -7, and we're going to go all the way up to positive infinity. That's the symbol for infinity. We are going to include -7. We're going to go all the way to infinity, but infinity is not a number. So because infinity is not a number, we're going to use parentheses for that. So remember the round parentheses indicates not including. Infinity is not a number, so it goes all the way to infinity, but it doesn't include infinity because infinity is not really a number. All right, let's take a look at this example. So this is starting from -infinity, going all the way up to 7, not including 7. So we're going from -infinity, we're going from the negative side, infinity, all the way up to +7. Infinities are not included, so we got to use a parentheses there. In this case, 7 is not included, so we use a parentheses there. So this is how we would write the values all the way from -infinity all the way to +7, not including 7. Okay, that means all the solutions are in that range. Okay, let's take a look at the next page. You might want to try the next problem on your own and then check the answer against what I'm about to do. Okay, we're going all the way from -infinity all the way up to 0. -infinity, because it's infinity, it's not included. 0 is included, so we're going to put a square bracket here. Okay, you want to try the next one? We're going to pause the video, try it, and you can unpause the video to see what I've done here. Okay, so we're going from -6 all the way to 2. -6 to 2. And we're going to include -6, so we're going to use the square bracket. And 2 is not included, so we're going to use the parenthesis there. All right, so here's something different. We have the following solutions, which goes from -3 all the way to -infinity. It excludes, it doesn't include any of the numbers in this range here. Then it starts again at 2, goes up to infinity. It doesn't include 2, but it includes all the numbers greater than 2. So here's how we're going to write this. We're going to write two sets. We're going to go from -infinity all the way up to -3. Remember, infinity is not included, so we use the parentheses. -3 is included, so we're going to use that square bracket. Then we have another set of numbers. That set of numbers starts from 2 and goes to infinity. 2 is not included, so we use the parentheses, and infinity we always use parentheses for. And how do we connect these? We're going to use the OR symbol. V is the OR symbol. So we include all the values down here or all the values up here. This is the symbol that we use when we have them disconnected like this. And that's going to be our symbol. So it's this range from -infinity to -3, including -3, or from 2, not including 2, but from 2 all the way to positive infinity. Okay, let's go look at the next page. Okay, so here it's asking us to graph the inequalities in the interval notation. Let me rewrite this. What this is saying is we're starting with 0. X is greater than 0, but not including 0. And x is less than infinity. So x goes from 0 to infinity, not including 0, and going all the way up to positive infinity. So this is 0 on the number line. It's not going to be included, so I'm going to put an open circle by 0. And then it's going to infinity this way, so we put an arrow to the right. Okay? You're welcome to try the next one, and then pause the video, unpause it when you're ready. This one's going from negative infinity all the way to negative 2, but it's actually going to also equal negative 2. So x is from negative infinity to negative 2, including negative 2. So we're going to go, I'm going to actually put a closed circle here at negative 2. And we're going down to negative infinity in this direction. So from negative 2 down to negative infinity. All right, let's try this. We're changing gears here a little bit. We're going to try this kind of problem. I'll read it out loud. If you have a hard time seeing it, you can pull this up, either get a hard copy or pull it up on the computer so you can read it, but I'll read it out loud. I'm going to see how to read this graph. Charlene heads out to school by foot on a fine spring day. Her distance from school in blocks is given as a function of the time she has been walking. So time is on this axis, and the distance is on this axis, okay? So how far does Charlene start off from school? So the distance from school is, let's say this is 10, that's 20. It looks like it's going up by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. This looks like it's at 22. So she is 22 blocks from school. 22 blocks from school is how she started. Because this was the time in minutes was 0, so that's we're just starting. 0 minutes, she's 22 blocks from school. Okay. What is her distance from school after she's been walking 4 minutes? So the minutes are on this side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is right here. So this represents 14. So she's still 14 blocks from school after 4 minutes. We go over to 4 on time, 4 minutes. We go up to the graph. We read across. We have to just make sure we know what number that is. That's going to be 14. So she's walked from 22 blocks to 14 blocks, which means she's walked 8 blocks, and now she's only 14 blocks from school. Okay, next question. After walking for 6 minutes, Charlene stops to look at her subway pass. How long does she stop for? Okay, so while this is changing, going down, she's moving because she's getting closer and closer to school. By the time she gets here, after 6 minutes, she's only 10 blocks from school. But then she didn't make any progress. She's still 10 blocks from school here, and she's still 10 blocks from school here, and she's still 10 blocks from school here. Then she starts moving away from school because she went from 10 blocks from school up to 12 blocks from school. So then she started moving away from school, but it's this interval right here, this distance, this amount right here. That's how much time she stopped and she was looking at her subway pass for. From 6 minutes, 7, 8, 9. So between 6 and 9 minutes, if we count the number of boxes, that's 1, 2, 3 minutes. Okay, part D. Charlene then walks to a subway station before heading to school on the subway. How many blocks did she walk to the subway? So she decides instead of walking the rest of the way to school, she's going to walk a little bit away from school to get to the subway station. So it's asking how many blocks did she walk? Well, she was 10 blocks away from school. When she got to here, she was 12 blocks away from school. So she went a total of 2 blocks to get to the subway station, going away from the school. Okay, and then how long did it take her to get to school once she got on the train? So how many minutes was it? So now she's on the train, and now she's going to school. Now she's 0. By the time she gets here, She's 0 blocks away from school, so this train let her off right in front of the school. This is the time on the train. She started at 11 minutes. She ended at 15 minutes. So let's count the boxes between here and here. 12, 13, 14, 15. It was 4 minutes on the train for her to get to school. Okay? So do the homework.